I am preparing to bake an apple pie for our family Thanksgiving dinner. One of our favorite times of the year for eating and just getting together. So I have cored 8 Granny Smith apples, and I've added 3/4 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon of vanilla, and the juice of 1 lemon. And we're about to soften our apples, stir it all together, and make this filling. All right, so we're going to stir these apples together with all of the spices and the sugar and the butter and all that good stuff. We're going to just soften our apples, not when they're mushy, but just so they're soft, because they're going to loosen up a little bit more when we bake them. All right, the apples are just right. They're tender but not mushy. And that's the way we want it. We also added a little bit of cornstarch in there mixed with sugar because we want that juice to thicken up so that we can have a nice thick juice when the pie is done. So we're going to stop right now. We're going to set these aside, let them cool to room temperature so that we can make our crust. Okay. All right, now we're making our homemade pie crust for the apple pie. We actually have to make 2 crusts, one for the bottom of the pie, and then we have to make another one to put the lattice on the top. So this is the easiest pie crust that there is to make, and make it homemade. We don't do the store-bought crust, and all this is 1.5 cups of unbleached flour, a half a cup of Crisco shortening, a half a teaspoon of salt, and then we're adding about 5 tablespoons of water, just so it's moist, but not too moist and not too dry. You can only know that by doing it a few times and learning by experience. All right, so we're going to make this pie crust into a doughy ball so it can stick together well. Mash it a little bit, put a little bit of flour on it. We're going to roll it out. We'll keep rotating it so it doesn't stick anywhere. It shouldn't anyway. We've got plenty of flour under it. Now you see a lot of videos on how to roll out dough, and they're all good, but it's really not all that complicated, not rocket science. But it is important to roll it out equally so that you have plenty of dough to work with when you put it in the pie plate. You want to get it thin. A lot of times people leave it too thick and it just makes the crust too thick for the pie. So you want to get it really thin. You don't want it to take away. You want it to add to the filling, but you don't want to take it away from it. So you turn it around just a little bit, just like that. Don't worry about all these creases and all that. We're gonna take those out. See how thin I'm making that crust? Okay, there we go. Looking good. I want you to look at this. Look at the apples. See how nice and thick that filling is? Can you smell that? Doesn't that smell good? I'm just kidding. I know some of you are trying to smell it. You can't smell through the TV. Apples are ready. Now, we'll grab our plate, our pie plate. We'll fold this crust over just like this. Just like this. We'll pick it up. And we're going to put it in the plate. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. By the time we get through cutting it and adding pieces around the edges, it's going to look great. That's as easy as it is right there. Now we're going to make another one of these so that we can cut our lattice out. I'm not going to show you this, but all you need to do is take some shears and cut about a 1/2 inch around the whole pie. gets in there really good. I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch around, trim about a 1/2 inch on the edges so that you can make a pretty border. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that, and I'll bring you back in just a bit. All right, see how pretty that is? We took that pie crust and it looked shameful on the counter, but we trimmed it up, and now we're making a pretty border. Let me show you how to do this. This is really simple. Just take your 2 fingers and just press one index finger into your other 2 fingers, just like that. Do it all the way around the pie, and it'll stay like that while it's baking. There you go. Now we're going to make another dough, another crust, so that we can lay over the filling. We'll bring you back in a short bit. All right, now we're ready to put the filling into the crust. Oh, that looks good. We'll spread it around, get it all even. Just right. Go. So we've made our filling, we have made our crust, all the way to the edges. Now we're going to put our lattice on. Here's our lattice. We've already made our lattice over here, and we're going to lay it on there, and I'll show you how it looks once it's on the top of the pie. All right, now we've made our lattice, put our lattice on top of our pie, put an egg wash on top of the lattice, sprinkle some sugar, and we're ready to go into the oven. We're waiting for our oven to preheat. Going to get it up to 375, and we're going to bake this pie for about 45 to 50 minutes. So we're taking it out of the oven, and that's exactly the way it's supposed to look. There. Apple pie.